World Rally Championship has arrived in New Zealand. That means super fast action against a stunning backdrop. Finland's Marcus Gronholm feels very at home here, and he's the leader going into the second day. He's won here 4 times before and needs to make it 5 to keep his challenge for the World Drivers' title on track. Gronholm, driving a Ford Focus, is leading that championship, but France's Sébastien Loeb in the Citroën C4 is closing in. If he could win here, it would be a big psychological blow to Gronholm, as he is regarded as having the better pedigree on these gravel stages. But it was Gronholm who got it right on the first morning. He was fastest on the first stage, and by the end of the second, his lead was nearly 15 seconds.
The car is really good, and the tires and everything was fine, and driving also, so everything together, so it was a good result.
While Gronholm got it all right, Loeb was not so happy. His car setup felt all wrong, and he had gone for a softer compound tyre, expecting the stages to be wet. This proved to be crucial.
I don't feel well in the car. It's on the steering a bit, and it's so twisty here that each time has to take the handbrake, and I slide too much, and we have to adjust a bit the setting, I think.
Loeb seemed to have sorted his car out at the service stop and went on to win the 2 main stages in the afternoon, but could only claw back a few tenths from Gronholm and will start today's stages still 13 seconds behind. Mikko Hirvonen in the Ford Focus is third, but well over half a minute behind Loeb. Behind Hirvonen, there's a tasty battle developing for 4th position, with Subaru's Chris Atkinson, Stobart VK Ford's Jari-Matti Latvala, Citroën's Danny Sordo, separated by just over 12 seconds. And here is the leaderboard going into day 2. Confirmation of Gronholm's 13-second lead, while the top 8 is completed by the Solberg brothers, Petter in 7th and Henning in 8th. Henning Solberg was one to find out that these stages can have a nasty bite. While the stages are fast, there's also a covering of loose gravel, which make them slippery. Get off the racing line, and you'll get a closer look at the countryside than you want. Chevy Ponce went off the road on stage 3 while holding a top 8 position, and Manfred Stoll's day also ended early on stage 4. Rally New Zealand is based in the city of Hamilton. Today, the crews will be heading west from here towards the Tasman Sea, where they'll contest 6 stages. So a vitally important day ahead for Sébastien Loeb as we move on to the 17-kilometre Port Waikato stage. The outcome of this fight for the rally lead could have serious repercussions for the championship race. Yesterday, a bad tyre choice cost Loeb dearly, so he'll hope the hard compound he selected this morning was the right way to go. It's looking quite dry and sunny out there today, but it's been reported that rally leader Marcus Gronholm has selected a softer tyre than Loeb. He'll be counting on some damper roads later this morning. So the leading 2 off into stage 6 then, while further ahead on the road, Danny Sordo will be hoping to close on the 2 drivers ahead of him. The Spaniard begins the second morning in 6th, 4.3 seconds behind Jari-Matti Latvala.
40, la izquierda 5 poco tarde de tierra, Jugunes estrecho, 5 poco tarde de tierra, Jugunes estrecho y situar para la derecha 6, para la izquierda 6 corta posible a punto.
Latvala, though, has been in good form in New Zealand, and he's faster than Sordo here. We've seen some terrific performances from the 22-year-old this year. He already has 4th and 5th place finishes under his belt in Argentina and Norway, respectively, and has also briefly led rallies on 2 occasions. Jari-Matti's attacking very hard here, so the pressure building on Chris Atkinson in 4th.
It's a big push to try and get Chris Atkinson.
Well, I tried to drive as well as I can. These are nice stages, these second leg stages, they are faster and suits better for my driving style.
Atkinson began the morning just 7.8 seconds ahead of Latvala, and despite the good pace he showed yesterday, Jari-Matti was looking fired up here on stage 6. That's the target time the Subaru driver needs to beat to hold on to 4th, and as he closes on the finish boards here, this could go either way. He's lost the position. He almost held on, but it wasn't quite good enough, and Latvala moves ahead by 0.3 of a second. Mikko Hirvonen, meanwhile, is continuing his rather lonely run in 3rd. He hoped to back up his teammate by staying ahead of Loeb this weekend, but he's being left playing catch-up after a bad tyre choice yesterday morning. The Finn started the day over half a minute adrift of the leading pair.
Ja lyhyt vaan se R6. Vasen täys miinus pidä 100. Oikee eri menee ja pidä.
Back to that intriguing battle for the rally lead now, though, and Loeb is looking very committed through this flat-out stretch of road. It's still looking very dry, so that harder tyre compound looks to have been a good call. Classic Rally New Zealand here. These really are some of the most stunning backdrops for a stage in the World Championship. And Loeb is winding his way through the flowing corners with consummate ease. The Frenchman is fastest through so far with a time of 9 minutes 33.2 seconds. So it's up to rally leader Marcus Grönholm then to match that effort from Loeb. He's receiving his rival's split times inside the car, so he'll know what he's up against. And in this case, he'll know that up to this point, he's slightly behind the Frenchman in this stage. The Finn's turn now to take on the final section of this 17-kilometre test. And comparing his time here to Loeb's, he might be struggling to match him.
8, oikein helppo ahdas. 110. Haipasen eri pyöreen suppuun. 120.
Yes, he's 3.1 seconds slower. And that softer tyre looks like a bad decision for Marcus.
I took too soft. Loeb is on the harder and it seems to be better now.
We hear the reports the next stage may be a bit damper. That could be good for you.
Yeah, where is he?
Petter Solberg and Henning Solberg held on to their positions in that stage. They're still 7th and 8th, but the headlines here are that Latvala's moved up to 4th and Sebastian Loeb has reduced Grönholm's lead to less than 10 seconds. Marcus Grönholm hoping conditions in the next stages suit his tyre choice. Can he regain the initiative at Rally New Zealand? See you after the break. Welcome back to day 2 of Rally New Zealand, where Marcus Grönholm and Sebastian Loeb are battling for supremacy at the top of the leaderboard. Also taking place today in conjunction with the main event is the Possum-born Memorial Rally. Possum, who often challenged the WRC's best at his home event, was New Zealand's greatest ever rally driver. He was killed in an accident while wrecking for an event in 2003. The clubmen will be enjoying the chance to drive the same stages as rallying's elite while remembering their friend and fellow competitor. Stage 7, Possum, was also named in tribute to the home nation's hero, and Grönholm hit back in this stage, taking his lead over Loeb back up to 14.9 seconds as they head for stage 8. And this stage is nearly 32 kilometres long, so a real possibility to attack for everyone. Chevy Ponce has restarted the second day after an off-road excursion ended his run yesterday. It's all about gaining experience with the Impreza now for the Spaniard. It's only his 3rd rally competing for the Japanese manufacturer. Oh, but that's another mistake from Chevy. A spectacular view of the incident from our eye-in-the-sky camera, and that's more frustration for Ponce. Let's take another look at that from inside the car. This is a classic example of what can happen if you get the driving line even slightly wrong in New Zealand. Thankfully, though, Chevy and co-driver Javier Amigo are both okay, but it's been a bruising 2 days for the Spanish crew. Stobart Ford's Henning Solberg is running in 8th, just over half a minute ahead of his brother Petter. Oh, but that was a very high-speed impact for the Norwegian. His Focus took the full brunt of that smash at the front of the car. A frustrating morning for Henning too. They do get going again, but after stopping to clear mud from the front grille, he falls to 10th. A dramatic start to stage 8 then, and with the rally lead still being fought over, there could be more fireworks to come. Loeb lost out to Gronholm then on stage 7. He's currently 14.9 seconds behind. Frenchman's already well into the stage here, and these roads are looking bone dry, which will be fantastic news to Seb on those harder compound tyres. Gronholm's completed nearly 2/3 of the stage. He needs some dampness in the roads to get the best out of his softer tyres, but it's not worked out that way for Ford's number 1. He'll be struggling for grip, and as he approaches the 19.7 kilometre split time, he's going to be well off Loeb's time of 12 minutes and 40.6 seconds. Yes, 6.7 seconds down already, and he still has over 10 kilometres to run. Gronholm's compatriot Jari-Matti Latvala has obviously had a small off somewhere, judging from the damage to the front and rear of his Focus. He's looking to put some breathing space between himself and Chris Atkinson after passing the Australian on stage 6. Atkinson already lost another 3.1 seconds to Latvala on the Possum stage, and there's more bad news for Chris here. He's slower again. This time, though, it's only by half a second, so he is at least still in touch. Now 3.9 seconds behind the Stobart Ford driver. Mikko Hirvonen is giving his all in his valiant efforts to get back on terms with the leading pair. After falling nearly 40 seconds back up to this point, it's an uphill struggle for Ford's number 2, but he is fastest through this stage so far. I don't expect he'll stay fastest for long, though. Sebastian Loeb is once again looking very, very fast through here. His harder compound tyres have clearly been a good decision on these dry roads, and he's attacking hard to press home his advantage. He clears the stage in a time of 21 minutes, 15.7 seconds. That's 13.4 better than Hirvonen's effort. He can be pretty pleased with himself about that.
Sebastian, definitely the right tyre choice this morning.
Yeah, not for the second stage. I lost a lot on 11 kilometers, but for the rest it was a good tyre choice, and I think Marcus is a bit too soft like Hirvonen, so it's the opposite from yesterday morning.
That time was so good that he could even challenge for the lead here. Gronholm is charging through the final kilometre of stage 8 now. Using virtual spectator, we can compare their performances as Gronholm reaches the end of the stage, and the Ford driver could be in real trouble here. He's going to be soundly beaten by his championship rival, but will it be enough to cost him first place? He's got to beat that target time to hold on to the rally lead. He should just be okay. Yes, he's still in the lead, but his advantage has been slashed to just 3.6 seconds.
Marcus, you've still got the lead, but you've lost so much time.
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, too soft tires, and then the car was like a snake all the time. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
So it's not just the tyres, no?
Not only the tires, no. That's interesting.
Well, in a reversal of yesterday, it's Gronholm who's now not happy with his car. Some consolation for the Ford driver. He was fastest in the Mystery Creek Super Special that completed the morning. His lead back up to 4 seconds. And Chris Atkinson used those 3 kilometres to strike back at Jari-Matti Latvala in 4th. He reduced that gap to just 1.6 seconds. A quick wash for the cars before they enter the indoor service at Mystery Creek. But it won't be what the car looks like that will be concerning the crew of Sebastian Loeb. With 2 stages totaling over 60 kilometres to come, the rally could be won or lost this afternoon. As ever, issues of tyre choice and setup are crucial.
Marcus, was this morning all about tyre choice?
I don't know. In fact, we lost a lot of time on the long one when it was quite dry and hard. And I think it was quite a lot of the from the tires.
Is tyre choice going to be as critical this afternoon?
I don't know. There is too many choices, so it makes it so difficult.
Why does it make it so difficult? Why is it such a tricky decision this afternoon?
Because the road is not here. I cannot see it. That's the problem.
What's making it so difficult? What's making it so tricky to choose your tyres at the moment?
That I was not here last year, and so the experience is not the same. I didn't practice these stages. It's dry, but it's not so hot, so we don't know exactly.
And what is the decision process you're going through in your head? Is it compound? Is it cut?
It's a bit of everything. It's a compromise between compound and cuts, so okay, hope we have the good one.
Can you catch him?
I hope so.
How under pressure are you feeling?
No pressure at all.
So it's a confident Marcus Gronholm who heads out to stage 10. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to an enthralling second day in New Zealand. Just 4 seconds separate championship rivals Marcus Gronholm and Sebastian Loeb as we move on to the final 2 stages of day 2. It's Loeb who'll be the happier of the 2 men fighting for the lead. He may still be behind, but he's been chipping away at Gronholm's advantage all day and is now firmly poised to strike. With these stages now completely dry, the Frenchman has selected the hardest compound tyre available.
142 millions et droite 140 moins 1000 longs 600 mètres droite à fond 250 mètres.
Here's the rally leader now. Gronholm has selected a slightly softer tyre than Loeb, which could count against him on these dry gravel roads.
Ja oikee eri ahdas. 100. Hai oikee täys. 8. Nyt täys.
Jari-Matti Latvala's been pushing hard all day. Since passing Chris Atkinson this morning, he's had to drive right on the limit to keep the Subaru man behind. This afternoon, though, the Finn has seemingly found another gear. He's 8.2 seconds quicker than the Australian on stage 10. The Ford team had strong hopes that Mikko Hirvonen could put some pressure on Loeb in New Zealand and perhaps even get ahead of the world champion. Finishing second here last year, the Finn does have proven pedigree on these roads, but he can't match the terrific time set by Latvala here. Not only has Hirvonen been unable to cause a problem for Loeb this weekend, it's actually the Frenchman who's piling the pressure on Mikko's teammate Gronholm. Seb's close to completing the 32-kilometre stage 10. Let's see how he compares to that fantastic time set by Latvala. Well, he beats it, but it's not by much. He's quicker by 1.4 seconds.
We have a bit harder tyre. Not sure it was a good tyre choice in this one. Hopefully it's better in the next. It was very hard in the 10 first kilometer. I couldn't warm the tyre and I had absolutely no grip. I was 3 behind Marcus, couldn't do anything.
The relentless pressure continues to mount on the rally leader then. He's also driving right on the edge here as he powers his Ford Focus through the final few bends of stage 10. Marcus has a target time of 18 minutes and 29 seconds, which he has to beat if he's to hold on to the rally lead. He's giving it everything here.
Nyppy 4 ja vasen eri. Ja oikea eri Jouhe ahdas. 8.
And into the flying finish. He stays ahead, although his lead was shaved by another 3/10. He's now ahead by just 3.7 seconds. So it's all set for a very interesting final stage today. Can Loeb reduce that gap or even get ahead of Gronholm? Further down, Petter Solberg is still 7th. And again, the Norwegian is failing to challenge for the podium positions where he believed he should be. His disappointment with the performance of his car has been one of the features of the season. And this was his reaction as he reached the end of stage 8.
It's bad, yeah. It's incredible. It's impossible.
Arva will be in 8th place as the cars head for the day's final stage. The Mitsubishi driver inherited that position when Henning Solberg got stuck in stage 8. The Estonian looking for his second top 8 finish of the season. Matthew Wilson also benefited from Henning Solberg's off as he moved to 9th. But he nearly suffered a similar fate to his Stobart VK Ford teammate on the same stage when he got too close to the roadside bank. Henning Solberg's now 10th, 1 place in front of Federico Villagra, who's the leading driver for the Munchies Ford team, in 11th. Stage 8 brought the downfall of many drivers. This is Juho Hänninen, who's competing in the PWRC. His Mitsubishi already damaged from a roll earlier in the stage. And he got upside down again in front of our cameras. But back to the action at the front of the field. This is the last stage of the day, Te Akko North. And one more stage then for Loeb to get past Gronholm. The world champion can obviously sense his opportunity as this is as fast as we've seen him today. Only drivers with the ability of the Frenchman and Gronholm can drive this fast on gravel and keep the car on the road. We'll get back to the leading contenders at the end of the stage. There's also that fight for 4th to be concluded too. Chris Atkinson's begun to slip back from a charging Jari-Matti Latvala. He was 9.8 seconds behind coming into stage 11. The Stobart Ford driver's in no mood to relinquish his hard-fought advantage, though. It's another terrific time from the 22-year-old on the final stage of day 2. He beats Atkinson again by another 7/10 of a second. There's still 10.5 seconds between them, though, so that battle is set to continue into the final leg. As is the intense fight for the rally lead and that extra 2 championship points that could make all the difference in this gripping title race. Looking at the split times throughout this 32-kilometre stage, Loeb's been edging closer and closer to Gronholm. By the final split before the finish, the two were dead level in the overall standings. And as he clears the stage, he's the fastest through so far. But does he think he's done enough?
I took perhaps a bit too much risk in this stage, but okay, we are here. A few mistakes, but still on the road, so sometimes it was very limit, but okay, I'm happy to be here. I pushed really hard, couldn't do better.
Gronholm, of course, will be well aware that the split times are falling in Loeb's favour through stage 11. So it's one last charge through the final sector in his bid to maintain the lead. He's held since the opening test. He's actually punctured a tyre close to the finish. The run flat moose has activated, so it shouldn't affect him too much, but the vibration caused will be a little distracting. The last few hundred metres of day 2 then, the last chance to hold on to the lead until tomorrow. Can he stay in front? No! What a finish to leg 2. Gronholm falls to 2nd, and there's now just 1.7 seconds between the championship rivals.
At some point of the stage I hit the front and the car started to shake, but the moves was working. But after that I have to slow down, and the split came, and that I was 3 after all immediately. But I could survive here, and I don't know, I think it's a puncture there, and also in the rear.
Tomorrow is going to be absolutely fantastic. 1.7 gap, you're going to have a go at him.
I have to go, yes, really what I can, and we have to find something in the car now.
Gronholm's teammate Mikko Hirvonen ends the day in third, the position he's held since the very first stage. Behind Latvala and Atkinson, Danny Sordo, Petter Solberg and Ermo Ava maintain their positions in the top 8. But it's that epic battle for first which is grabbing all the attention. Gronholm and Loeb separated by just 1.7 seconds. You can find reaction to today's events at WRC.com and make sure you join us tomorrow for the big showdown on day 3 of Rally New Zealand. It's going to be memorable.